I'm standing on the corner of Cheeri Gregg, where 22 years ago I got shot in the head when I was 10. Standing here today, I feel like I'm blessed, but on the other side, I'm also angry because I could have been another person. I could have been in the NBA. I could have been in the NFL. I could have ran for president. I don't know what I could have been because my life was altered with a bullet. All right, this is April 3rd, 2022. This is the first filming of my documentary titled They Don't Care About Us. I did it because April 3rd, 2000, I lost my life for 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And I came back and I want to interview victims like myself that went what I went through. I felt like in my heart, the city didn't do nothing, the state didn't do nothing, nobody did anything for a victim or survivor like myself. And there's so many other survivors out here like myself. They don't get no help at all from nobody. Assistance, not even a phone call saying, hey, are you okay? I mean, I know family or friends does that, but we need our city officials to ask us, are we okay? We victims, we ain't die. I feel angry, I feel upset, I feel like nobody cares about victims all across the world. I was on the internet and I have my foundation called the McClain Foundation, and I try to help all the survivors. And I saw this guy, Samaj, he got shot in the head. He was 10. And I'm like, oh my God. So I would follow the story for like a year. He went to the same hospital. No, he went to St. Chris, actually. He went to St. Chris. They did surgery on him. And on the news, they followed him coming out the hospital. He had the same walk as me. He had the same scar as me. And I'm like, I have to meet this guy. I have to. When I first met Samaj, I broke down in tears because he had a hoodie like mine, hoodie like me. Like, you get shot in the head, you don't want the world to see your scars. And I asked him, why you got a hoodie on? He said the same thing. I don't want nobody to see my scars. He said, listen, I don't want nobody picking on me. And I don't like the way I walk. It's the same thing that I was saying when I was 10 years old. You tell me your name and your age?
Samaj McClain, and I'm 13.
You tell me 3 things you love? It could be anything.
TV and game.
Really?
And sports.
What you love about it?
It's just something for me to do. And I like sports because that's what I want to be when I grow up.
What type of sport?
Football.
Oh, football. What's your favorite team?
The Cowboys.
Oh, me too.
Hey, you got cowboy clothes over there and all that.
Okay. My man. Can you tell me 3 things to make you mad?
Nothing.
So you don't get mad.
Huh?
You can be honest what makes you mad.
3 things. Alright. So when somebody talk about me and I got 2 things. That's one. And I don't like nobody talking about my sister.
Okay. So you like the protector in the family.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what happened to you? If you can remember.
So I was walking home from school, and then that's when I was in my parking lot, and then that's when I just heard something go on, and then that's when I just couldn't feel my head. So,
Okay. What else happened?
and
That's all you
then,
remember?
no,
Nothing else?
that's it.
You don't remember nothing else after that?
Did anybody tell you what happened, or did you watch the news?
Yeah.
What they say?
We continue to follow breaking news. A 10-year-old boy is in critical condition after he was shot in the back of the head in Frankfort. Philadelphia police say the boy was caught in a crossfire of bullets as he walked home from school on the 2000 block of Margaret Street around 3:30. Investigators are searching for a Pontiac that had several people inside the vehicle. No one has been arrested as of yet. Doctors are treating the child at St. Christopher's Hospital.
The Philadelphia Fraternal Order of Police is offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person who shot Samajo Branty. The mother of a 10-year-old boy who was shot while walking home from school tells CBS 3 that he is now fully awake and conscious. Samajo.
They said I got shot and stuff. That, and then I just woke up in the hospital.
How you feel when you was in the hospital? Did you know what was going on?
I was sad a little bit, but and then that's when they helped me, and then that's when I was happy.
What did the doctors make you happy about? What did they do to you?
They helped me to walk again, and talk again, and what else? And they helped me to
Eat. Remember you didn't learn to eat? Got a spoon in your hand, learn how to eat?
again. Been no far eat.
Hey, it's nothing for stopping you from eating, huh?
Let's say it like that. Just like-
So, Mom, can you explain what happened?
Well, I was, my kids we was at a church. We belonged to a church, Faith Assembly of God in Frankfurt, and they got an after school program. So we used to have in the church and stuff, and after school program, my kids would go from after school from 3 till 5 o'clock, and you can eat the kids can eat as much as they want. So they had the after school program at school too, and my girls was in there, and they called me because they called me every day at 3 o'clock. Samaj don't want to stay. Can Samaj come home? I'm like, yes, he can come home because he don't want to stay with y'all girls. Let him come home. So as he's coming home, I made him my niece Dalisa. I said, let's go to the store and get Samaj a cheesesteak because he gonna be okay. So I goes in the store and I hear shooting. She knows all the guys and stuff on the corner, and I hear shooting. I'm not thinking, in my mind, I forgot that I let him come home. So, as the shooting go on, I'm in the store, I goes in the back, and I comes back out, I'm telling her, I said, it's going to be okay, let's go outside. I come outside, it's him outside. It's him outside on the ground. And I hear him saying, get off me, get off me, get off me. Like, I need to get him off me, get him off me. And we went to the hospital, and thank God the bullet just went in and went out. They didn't stay, caused the fluid to build up in his brain. And it was sad from there. She was only 10 years old. Coming home from school.
Okay. So what did the doctors tell you, his condition when you first got to the hospital?
When you first got shot?
Yeah.
Then the bullet went through his brain, and they had to do an emergency, I think it's a surgeon or something they had to do on him because the fluid went up. I think my worst is thinking that he was going to be paralyzed or something, or brain dead. That's my thinking it was going to be. So that was in my mind the whole time.
So what's the difference between you before you got shot and now? What's the difference that you see?
I think I walk from sometimes, and I talk slow.
How did that make you feel?
Just make me different.
How did your friends treat you after you got shot?
Like 1, 2, 3. I think I got like 8 friends. I think.
8 friends?
Yeah.
What about ladies? You interested in ladies yet, or you're not focused on them?
I got like 1. I think. No, not like 1. I wouldn't say 1, but like. She like me and I like her, but she don't want to say it yet.
Oh.
And I don't want to say it yet, so it just. And then a girl that liked me because she told my sister she liked me, and then, but my friend liked her, so I was waiting for my friend.
Tomas, do you ever get angry?
No. Well, it just like sometimes, but it's not because of what happened to me. It's just like I be getting angry at school all the time, and that's when sometimes I be fighting, but my mom told me not to.
So I wonder what time you start sharing.
No, it's not. I don't be fighting, but
You're just talking about do you be getting mad about what happened and they didn't catch the person that did it to you?
No.
And why you?
No.
You never thought about those things? Why can it be somebody else and why it had to happen to them? You never thought that about that? About that? Nothing?
So when you in school, when you get angry, who you get angry towards?
Everybody.
Why do they make you angry?
Cause like some people be saying stuff about me, and then I'll be getting angry. And then if a boy touch my sister, I'll be getting angry too. And then that's when my sister tell me, and then that's when I'm ready to fight the war, but then my mom told me we can't fight them.
You can't.
I know.
Do you get picked on in school? Do you feel like you're different from other students?
Yes.
Why is that?
Go ahead.
Cause,
Go ahead.
well, I don't think I'm different personally, but at the school, they think I'm different, but I'm not. But so at the school, they think I'm different because I got shot and stuff.
Do they treat you a certain type of way?
Sometimes they treat me a certain way, but other days they don't. Cause my teacher be like giving me less work than other people and stuff since I got shot. So I be happy because I don't gotta do all that work, but at the same time I be like, why she giving me different work than them?
So, Mom, do you feel like the city could do more to help you up?
Yeah, a whole lot more. It's a struggle.
As your son being a victim, a survivor per se, how do you feel they've been treating you?
They be treating me like a normal person, like it never happened. You know, because once it happened, you know, all the tension is on you. You know what I mean? Because it's a shame that a 10-year-old boy got shot and, you know, a lot of stuff that's going on. And after that, it's over. You just like a normal day. But don't know it's a lot of barriers that you still got to go through that you got to still watch out for, especially mentally. That you got to think about every time your son goes to, well, he don't even go outside. And I would want him to go outside and go, but my mind is not set up where I can't do that, and I don't want nothing to happen to him. So it's like, it's a mental thing and all that. It's like still a lot going on that we still got to deal with. I thank God that he's here, but at the same time, it's still got a lot of stuff that we're going through at day by day, daily basis. Certain stuff that he might forget that he would never forget. If he didn't get shot, then I'm like, Samaj, you can't do that. I'm like, okay, Mom. Certain stuff that I think Samaj should know at 13. Sometimes certain things he don't. That you still got to go up on him like this, like starting all over again. So that's still like, still a struggle.
So after he got shot, did anybody come to your rescue from the city? Did anybody come talk to you, say, hey, this is what we're going to do? Like
Well, District Attorney Lamar Stewart came to me and put us in a hotel for 4 or 5 months. And anything we needed, they had us. Like I said, our organization for People's Army was there with us too. So, as far as the food and stuff like that, there's resources, and they came and they helped us. I can say they helped us like that.
So do you feel like do you think Philadelphia cares about people getting shot? Like the survivors?
I don't know if they don't care. Well, my situation, they never found nobody who shot Samaj. And nobody never came to me, well, Miss Williams, this is what we got going on, this is all we know right here, but we're going to try to figure something out with you. Nobody never came and did none of that.
So the first 5 months they helped you out. But after that,
as far as the living and stuff like that, and as far as the living arrangements and stuff like that, helped me out. But as far as Miss Williams, we're gonna try to get on top of something. Get on top of what happened with Samaj. But we know this is such and such what went on, and we know this. Nobody never came to me and said that to me. So I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know what's happened. I don't even know what kind of car, because I didn't even watch no stuff. Because I can't grab it in my mind and watch stuff like that. Nobody never came to me. And like I said, nobody never caught the person who shot him.
we was working together in Frankie's world, and she used to always see me like struggle. I had a job, and she used to be like, "It's okay. Show your scars." And she's a domestic violence victim, and I thought that I thought gunshot victims was just the only victims. Domestic violence and rape survivors, they're not like us. But Free taught me that we all the same. Talking to her, and her story is amazing. Can you tell me your first name and what does it mean?
So my name is Uhura. It's Uhura. It means freedom in Swahili, and I believe Igbo. Don't hate on every. I don't want to offend anybody who is from those tribes, but I do know that's what I know.
What you do for a living?
So I am a registered nurse in the city of Philadelphia. I work for several places. I actually work at Civil University as an adjunct instructor. I just started that, and I enjoy it. I'm getting my master's in nursing education, and I am a nurse for St. Christopher's Hospital for Children for Tower Health, and I also work as a nurse for Jefferson Health at Jefferson downtown in the ER. They're all ER positions.
So I hate to make you relive this trauma, but what happened to you?
It didn't just happen suddenly. The person that shot me was someone I went to middle school with. I knew the family. I went to high school with this individual. So there was not always closeness or things like that. There's a lot of cheating, STI exposure. He started stalking me. Then he started hitting me. But it wasn't just hitting me. He was dragging me. He was pushing me. So it was like, oh, that's not domestic violence because I didn't hit you. So, number one, That is domestic violence. No one should be putting your hands on you. Verbal abuse, ghosting, all the mind games, all the suspicions and things like that are part of the whole umbrella of domestic violence. So we need to get that straight. So I ended up getting a restraining order because I feared for my life, because I knew he all he ever wanted was to have a gun or be licensed to carry. He got his license to carry. Like, I had a dream like 2 weeks before that I was going to be laying in a street. It was going to be branches and gray, and I was just laying there. And I heard sirens. So that was a nightmare for me that actually did come true. I actually was preparing that he would eventually attack me. I knew it was coming after the restraining order, because most of the time, that's your most vulnerable. Once you get a restraining order and that control is kind of like broken up, there's always the most highest chance you can get shot or killed by your abuser. So I went home that night. That was January 28th. Saw that my check cleared for my insurance. So I said, okay, if anything happens to me and I die, all my bills are paid, my house will be paid off, my nieces will have stuff to go to college, and everybody would be okay. I had like specific clothes that I knew if I was to get shot, if it got cut off, I wouldn't be bothered by it. So I went to work, and my mother wanted to drive me, and I said, oh, I had a weird feeling in my stomach. My stomach wasn't feeling right. So I got to go on the bus, and he called me, and I was like, listen, I just knew this was coming. I said, I've been trying to get away from you for about 2 years now. You broke up with me. You allowed it to happen. I don't want anything to do with you anymore. So I had to take another bus. And when I got off, it was so eerily quiet. I was like, look at every corner, like, he's gonna have to come after me. I was prepared, because I wanted, at the time, when I think about it now, I wanted to get control, because domestic violence is about control. So he was walking up and down the street. He was talking to himself. And I hadn't seen him in months. So he looked thinner. He looked gaunt. Going down the street, he turns around and says, you think you can fucking get away from me? So I screamed, and he gripped me up. And all I want to do is just talk to you. He cocked the gun. And I was like laying on the ground, because by the time I waved somebody down, he dragged me. And again, he was doing his dragging. And they were arguing. And then he started shooting. So the person flew off. And I'm like, oh my God, this person, I flagged somebody down to help me. I have probably gotten somebody shot. Okay, you have me. Just shoot me. And I had to cover my face, because he shot me in my face. And it was grazed. He didn't shoot me full on, but I felt it. So I have this scar, and I purposely kept this, but I was like, I need to remind myself every day that I can't have somebody do this to me anymore. No one can get that close and try to shoot me or do anything or try to control me or oppress me in any way. So he shot me a couple more times, and he just jogged away. It was like less than a foot. All my shots were close range. So I was shot in my arm, in my abdomen, in my hip, and like near my hip, like posterior hip buttock was twice, and my face. So I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 6, 7 times. And this was the graze that's still there. And I didn't notice, because I couldn't really hear. So I didn't hear anything but the ringing. So I didn't hear anything. So he was shooting. I didn't realize he went back to reload, and he started shooting me down the block. I didn't know. Nope. I heard from the cops, or from the person that saved my life, and the neighbor, that he was still shooting at me. So I ran out, I went around a corner, and I was looking around, and I saw the person that was trying to save me. He was on the phone with the police. So I was like basically collapsed in the street, like halfway underneath his car, because I was scared, because I heard all these like sirens. I heard like the tactical unit, because they were all in black, and I heard a loud boom, and I didn't know what was happening. And that was when he turned around, opened his mouth, according to the detectives, and shot himself in front of like all the cops. So this happened all in a span of 15 minutes. They got me down in 10:45, I believe, and I was in surgery by 11, and I was in the trauma room. And the one thing I thought of was like, can I ever have children again? I was asking them, can I have children? And they were like, you don't need to worry about that right now. You're going to surgery.
So what does it mean for you that you survived gun violence?
I try to tell people it feels like for years, it felt like you're like the loneliest person in the world, because everybody's passing by, say the same, excuse my language, bullshit. And it's like, you know, if you would just deal with your trauma, deal with your feelings, it would be such a better world. And then there was times where I felt I didn't even want to be in this world, or I wanted to harm myself. I think that's the worst part of it. But it's just like you have to figure out how you want to live this life and on your terms too. So it's scary too at the same time. But I'm not fearful. I think when I look back at it, it's like still overwhelming, you know? And you end up being a part of this very odd, strange, special connection with various people. Like meeting Miss Rochelle and like Marcus Yates' mom, or meeting you. It's like almost surreal that you're in this world and you connect with these people.
What would you say to the woman that was in your predicament back in 14 years ago?
You don't have to be ashamed. I know your anger. I know the hurt. But you're still here. And nobody can take that away from you. No one can. Nobody. You have work to do, but know that the work is worth it. Ironically, I always felt like I don't know if I want to have a baby and things like that. And you know, and once I started looking, and I think out of the fear in the back of my mind was always when I said, could I have children in that trauma room? So I had to do IVF. I actually went and found out that when I got shot, one of my fallopian tubes was, I call it wonky, but it's called a hydrospleen, so it's twisted. So any egg coming out of there may be prone to miscarrying. So we started doing the journey, and it was like, it's been 3 years, or almost 3 years, that I was doing it really like, okay, I want to have a child. I want to create a legacy. I have somebody, like the people that we are, why not have a baby? Then I was like, you know, I think I could do this. So I had my second, it's called ICSI, so it's like an embryo transfer where it's like kind of like they put it in the petri dish. It's all science. I love science. And they put it back in me. It's my own. It's my husband's sperm. It's mine. And it's 12 weeks, and he is 12 weeks.
How'd you meet me?
I met him, I looked him up on Instagram and said, I have to meet this guy. I met him through Instagram, and he got back to me, and we had mutual friends, and because he wasn't returning my phone calls, so I got back to a mutual friend, and he called me about a week or two ago. And I mean, he a victim. He was like, listen, nobody's going to exploit my story. I'm strong. Nobody helped me out anyway. Like, he was frustrated. And I just told him, listen, I'm Oronde McClain. I got shot. I'm a victim too. And once you hear that victim and survivor mood, we clicked ever since. Can you tell me your name and what you do for a living?
My name is Leon Harris, and I am a network operations analyst. I started on Wednesday. That's why I was a little confused.
What's that?
So basically, I'll be monitoring infrastructure, and I'll be monitoring their computer systems, their servers, making sure that their website is up, making sure that the apps is working, making sure that whatever systems they're employing are working for their customers as well. So just basically monitoring those things, making sure they're secure as well.
You excited about that?
Oh yeah, because my dream job is to be in cybersecurity. So this is a stepping stone to get there, and I'm like right there.
Okay. Can you describe the day you got shot?
So for me, I was 17 at the time. I just turned 17. I had a little part-time job, and for me, it was the craziest thing because it was a Monday, and at that time, I never worked on Mondays. But my boss needed me to come in to cover a shift, so I was like, "All right, bet, I'll do it for you." Regular day at work. We actually was trying to get out early to get the early bus, so we shut the store down like 5 minutes earlier, kicked the last person out, and grabbed the early bus. So we was excited. I was like, "I'm gonna be home a little earlier." Normally I get home like 9:30. This time I got home like 9:15. I'm like, "Bet, it's cool." So as I'm getting off the bus, I'm wrapping up a phone call with a friend, and I start my little journey off the school, but off the SEPTA bus like normal. So I take a little stroll, and as I'm going, I see these people driving around me looking real suspect. I'm like, all right. So normally it's this where I used to live at. There was a autos body shop on the corner, and it had a little driveway. It had a little parking lot. Normally I would cut through. Kid, you just cut through the short path. This time I said, no, I'm gonna walk the sidewalk, go around onto my block the right way. And these people turned onto my block and then just stopped. And then two of them hopped out. So I'm looking and I'm like, all right, this don't seem good. But I'm like, I gotta keep walking because my crib is 100 yards away. So I'm like, it's not that far. I'm gonna just, bypass and keep moving out, make eye contact, do my thing. They stopped me. I don't remember all what happened, but basically part of it was they wanted me to step into the alleyway because they wanted to see what I had on me. Again, it was at 9:15 at night. And I knew that alleyway was crazy stuff going on, so I'm like, no, I'm not going back there with y'all. That's not happening. And they still making some more comments. They're like, what you got in your pockets? And I'm like, I ain't got nothing on me. Because at that time, all I had was a little rinky-dink Nokia cell phone and a wallet with a TransPass, because I was going back and forth. And I don't know what happened. I know the other, whatever you want to call it, assailant, accomplice, he went to go behind me. So when he did that, my fight or flight instinct kicked in and I went to run. And as I ran, I don't know what happened. I guess he obviously shot me. I'd never heard the bullet. I vaguely seen an imprint of the gun in his shirt, but I'm not even always sure if that's real or not. My mind made that up. But for me, I've never heard the gunshot, never seen the gun. All I know is I know I wanted to run, and then the next thing I know, I'm on the ground calling out to my mom, "Mom, save me!" I know I'm paralyzed. I know already I'm paralyzed. My legs are feeling like they're floating under the ground. I'm just trying to pick myself up, and it's not. I ain't going nowhere.
What was your mom reaction?
It's I still can hear it, the way she's. The way she called my name, she knew I was dying, bro. I ain't never said it like that, but that's you can hear the whatever in her voice. Is that Leon? Is that my son? That's how she came running out screaming. And it was just, it wasn't loud. She wasn't loud, but to me it was piercing because I knew she, I'm legit dying on the street. That was not.
Did you and your family ever ask for the city for help?
Yeah. I used Liberty Resources for a waiver program, which basically allowed me to have my own attendant. I could hire, whoever I wanted to be my attendant to take care of me and make sure I get the help that I needed the right way. where I lived at, we were fortunate enough to live in a condo when I came back to Philadelphia later on in life. So I didn't have to worry about getting a ramp. I didn't have to worry about getting a lift. Some of those things. I do know people who need those things, and I do know though that the waiver programs are beneficial. But especially now in pandemic and crisis and all like that, I can't imagine the wait times to get those services needed. There is another resource that I have that I don't think a lot of victims in Pennsylvania realize. There's something called Pennsylvania Crimes Victims Compensation, and basically they're a resource that will compensate you for any funds that you have to pay due to your injury after you've been shot. At the time I did it when I got injured, the amounts were 6 digits. So it's substantial and it really helps. I had to get controls put on my first car, and they paid for it all. My first car. That was our first car together, but that was my first car. Like, that was the first car I learned how to get in and out of myself. I knew how to put my wheelchair in and out of that car. I had to learn. We went to Kelly Drive, and we spent like 2 hours learning how to put a wheelchair in and out the car, because I was going to learn how to drive.
Do y'all both? So she uses the car too?
Yep, she drives too.
Both of them?
Both of them. So they're not set up where I have hand controls on there, but she's still able to drive it. Right? Yep. And these are portable. My homie did these. Come here, bro. My homie, he been in the chair almost 20 some odd years. He actually went to prison. Did prison in the chair. He built these hand controls. So basically, you gotta strap them underneath here, and then you just screw them down there to tighten them up and loosen them up. Push down the brake, pull the gas. One hand, and I use a spinner knob because my hand to turn the wheel, I don't have good dexterity with my hand to turn, so I use a spinner knob to help me turn. So that way I get to drive. I drive with one hand. And I have a shorter one, and I would use it for like transfers from like the bed to the couch. Bed to the chair to the couch. I have it in that car. That car is a lot lower to the ground. So that transfer is like a car. I love that thing. I gotta sell it, but I love that thing. Unlock. This was the fun part I had to learn. I have to make sure when I park somewhere, I'm not on a hill. Because if I'm on a hill, the chair won't roll away. I'm not gonna be able to catch it. So when I come out, I have to like turn it into the door, turn around, and be kind of like quick. Pick some up. Because I'm paralyzed, I'm always thinking 5 steps ahead. So in my mind, from day one, these suckers gonna fall off one day. I'm always ready. If I hear, I slide over, I know where I'm good to go. But yeah, she's my helper, man. Everyone always told me, girls, they gonna protect you, they gonna look out for you. And it took her a long time to get there. I ain't gonna lie, she just now getting into it a lot better.
What are you doing, Daddy?
We're going for a ride. Well, one hand giving gas right now. And for me, my cheat code in life, cruise control. When I started learning, they told me it was gonna take me 6 months to a year because I never drove before I got injured. Now mind you, I'm 25 at the time. My man told me it's gonna take me a year to learn how to drive because I gotta learn how to use hand controls. I gotta learn how to drive a car because I didn't drive before. It took me 6 tries, bro.
If you could change one thing about the city's response to gun violence, what would you do?
One thing, response. Can't say I want to say to my child here. The police presence needs to actually care. I think they need to be more involved with the people, more involved with the communities. I think they could stop a lot of this. Not by being harsh, not by actually policing, but just being a presence in the community, just being there. They could probably squash some of this stuff if they just handled it the right way and not was involved in some of the stuff they're on. Yeah. So this is the safety pouch. This was invented by a young black man. The reason for this was he wanted to design something so that you could put your ID, your registration on the outside of your car in case the cops pull you over. So it's bright, there's no way, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no reason they should shoot you. You got something like this showing your ID and your registration and just always just sitting outside your car.
You said that you was robbed out your life. Do you still feel that way?
Yeah, every day.
Wow.
Every day.
Can you explain that?
Everything I do is different. Everything I do is hard. Everything I do is a struggle. Everything I do, I have to figure out how to do, or how am I going to be able to do it, or how am I going to be able to compensate to do it. And this wouldn't have been a situation I would have been in if I hadn't been shot. So, everything, like just rolling over here, I gotta make sure there's nothing. I gotta make sure there's not a toy on the floor in front of me, because if it is, I could potentially flip over and fall out my chair. Like everything I have to make a conscious decision about everything I do right now. And it's a hard way to live.
So before you got shot, what was your dream?
I didn't really have one. I was young. I was just living. Like I was a smart kid. I was in vocational technology school, so I was doing high school. I was actually done high school early, but I said I'm gonna stay in high school and I'll just go to Vo-Tech so I can learn a trade while I'm technically in school. So I was learning warehousing. So I was gonna be like one of the Amazon people, but I would have came out of high school already certified and already ready. And like that was my only goal at that time. Either that or the military. I didn't have like big dreams or nothing like that.
So you're married now. Can you explain that life?
Married? I mean, I was dating and talking to people and stuff like that. Like I knew what marriage, thought about marriage, but I always wanted to be. When I met my wife, we met. She slid in my DMs on Facebook. She really didn't. She really did. We were into the same church, and she had friended me on Facebook. I never even realized it. And she needed her computer fixed one time, so she just messaged me about that, and I fixed her computer. I pulled a smooth line, was like, I need your number so I can give you your computer. Because we was at the church at the time, and I had to get the computer out the car, so I'm like, I'm in a wheelchair, I gotta go get the computer, let me get your number. And long story short, we became friends, and almost 8 years, 9, I don't even know anymore. We've been 9 years, I think, going on. It's been good. It's had its ups and downs. The reason I married my wife was because from day one, she never treated my disability like it was an issue or a problem. She was always like, all right, well, how we gonna figure it out? I was just like, I don't know. Like it was just caught me off guard at first. It was like, I don't know. And yeah, she makes my life easier. She makes everything easier. She worked in the medical field, so she was a respiratory therapist for 15 years. So for me, that was like, oh, you in scrubs? And you like the handicapped dude? Oh, be in there. Like, I'm good. And the rest is history, man. Like,
so you have kids now. Can you explain that process?
I have a daughter, Noelle. What a lot of people don't realize is her name is Noelle because my name is Leon. I wanted a boy. I wanted a junior. If you flip Noelle backwards, it spells Leon. So that was either like I was going to have a Leon or a Noelle. We tried to do it naturally, but due to my injury, being a C6 quadriplegic, I'm not able to have kids naturally on my own. So we went through IVF, and thankfully, we were able to have her on the first try. Like, we only had to do one round. And a lot of people don't know, with IVF laws, the IVF I had to do was they had to actually cut my testicle, pull out the sperm, and then put it inside of her. So I had to endure some pain for this kid as well. I'm altered.
So the biggest support system there?
Oh, it's my family. It's my wife, it's my daughter, it's my in-laws, it's my mother, it's my uncle, it's my mother's husband. He knew she's newly married, but he's a support system as well. Like, it's my family.
The documentary is called "They Don't Care About Us." Who you think the they is?
It's us. The victim person that gets shot, the children that get shot, as well as the parents.
What you think about that?
What about you?
Huh?
What about you? Do you think they care about us?
Yeah.
You do? Why do you think they care about us? Why do you think they care about us?
They do stuff for us sometimes. And then I think they care about us that way. And then no other people though.
I think certain people care about us.
Certain people, yes.
Love us, care and love us.
So is there any other questions that I didn't ask that you want to share?
They is all like, and it sounds stupid and it sounds cliche, and I say it's, we don't care about ourselves at times. We don't care about what other people are. Nobody cares about each other. I think the frustration for me is when I hear people say, oh my God, it's 500, it's 500, it's the DA's fault. So what? That doesn't matter who's in charge. When are we going to get in charge of ourselves? When are we going to get in charge and actually look at the trauma, the oppression, and look at our adverse childhood experiences and stop numbing as a coping mechanism for violence? When are we going to do that?
And like I always keep telling people, the person you shoot is not the only person bothered by it. The effect, it's a whole ripple effect. So I hurt for everybody because everybody feels it, and I think that's why it keeps keeps becoming more and more because everyone is hurting, and they don't know how to redirect that pain.
I think I was put to this test and this process to get this change. Maybe I'd have been a lawyer fighting for the wrong justice. Maybe I'm supposed to be an advocate to teach these young people and these teens not to pull the trigger, or these survivors how to help out with PTSD. Maybe that was my purpose in life. Victims and co-victims and normal human beings should live together at peace. So if you need help, ask anybody and everybody, and seek help. Don't hide and make it so you can get upset and blow up. Ask somebody for help.